As always, flight attendants Jenny and Paula welcome passengers kindly.
Back half of the plane, completely empty.
Oh, I appreciate that, ma'am.
The captain and the co-pilot are checking thoroughly and preparing for flight. Everything in the airplane seems normal, and the only distinctive passenger is Henry, who's taking the plane with his hamster. And at the moment, another passenger, Ralph, helping Henry, gets bitten by the hamster. And as scheduled, the airplane starts to fly to Kansas City with 2 flight attendants and several passengers. After the pilots take off the airport, the passengers do what they want and the time passes.
Hey, crap, you see?
I'm
We're
sorry,
gonna be landing
sir.
in the
We
morning.
are airborne, so you're gonna have to end.
Meanwhile, the righteous passenger Henry does Jenny's job to help Jenny so she doesn't get uncomfortable.
Henry.
Jenny.
She exchanges conversation with Henry and gets to know he is an intelligent doctor, and she develops bigger interest in him.
He's talking. He's super smart.
Another passenger, Ralph, calls Jenny urgently. He obviously looks addicted to something and he is in a bad condition.
Hey, golf guy in the back asked for water. Doesn't look so good.
After then, Jenny returns, but Ralph already lost his mind and she is about to check again.
Sir?
And then Ralph throws up to her, and immediately Ralph turns violent and dashes to the cockpit. The huge Ralph almost crashed the control room, but fortunately Henry and other passengers hold it.
Okay.
So the dangerous situation is over and Ralph calmed down and he turned meek, but the Federal Aviation Administration doesn't overlook it, and they order the pilots to make an emergency landing.
Secure the cabin for landing. FAA wants us on the ground now.
Okay.
At that time, Jenny and Paula doesn't let Ralph rolling down on the bottom and then try to fix him on the seat. The next moment, Ralph wakes up opening his completely bloodshot eyes. Once again, the whole airplane is in confusion and danger. Fortunately, a nurse, Shyla, is there and she gives an emergency aids to Paula. All the passengers escape out of the terrible airplane and get to the end of the gate with the help of the baggage handler, Ed Ramirez. The gate is supposed to be open, but oddly it is closed tight. It's an emergency, so they cannot wait anymore, so they move to the other emergency exit.
Jenny, come on!
Take off.
The passengers leave the captain and the co-pilot behind, even though they are worried about pilots and anxious. But at the same time, they want to escape from here soon. But it doesn't go the way they want. Ed Ramirez checks the security devices. He learns that they are locked by someone with purpose. All these facts stir them up, then they hear the siren of ambulance coming to rescue them. After then, a kid, George, looks out the sole window to check what's going on. The police officers don't rescue them immediately, but they completely block the exit.
Just go fetch the captain, honey. We need somebody.
They can't change the situation, and the passengers shot the flight attendants with the arrows of their anger. Even if they're stirring up, they have to heal Paula's wound first. So Sheila returns to the airplane to find her first aid kit to save Paula with sturdy guys.
Captain?
But when they returned, the captain and then the co-pilot have vanished without a trace. They had kept Ralph in the lavatory, but they don't see anyone at all. They only see blood sprayed over the floor. People don't know what's happening now yet, and they are busy taking the stuff they need to deal with urgent things first.
I got it. Come on. Let's go.
After then, Jenny boards on the airplane again first. The next moment, she lights the plane with a flash and she sees the co-pilot crawling far away. But before she checks it properly, Jenny hears someone breathing hard behind her. The captain threatens Ramirez and acts crazy. Eventually, the passengers shot him to kill him off. Given the facts that the police officers outside don't take them out but isolate them, and the people in the airplane can't think straight and attack other people, they had enough clues to understand the circumstance. So Jenny returns there and tells the passengers that something infects people and turns people into something like zombie. Despite her attempt, people don't trust her before they check with their own eyes. Then a mouse got out of the airplane, bites off an old man sitting on a wheelchair.
I know I can't.
After then, people think the old man could have got infected and they put him in quarantine.
That's a lab rat, albino.
Also, they learn that the mouse is a lab rat, and it suggests people that the people might not have turned into zombies naturally.
It's not possible. I never would have made it through security.
Of course.
People cannot let their guard down for a moment because Ralph has escaped through the exit and dashes towards them. When they're having a life or death battle with the zombie, Ed Ramirez connects to the with CDC through radio transcription, and finally they can get outside help of CDC. Everyone senses unusual atmosphere and they get serious. So they have no choice but comply with agent's order.
Rest of you, line up here.
What is this?
The protocol for your safety.
And the agents inject suspicious antidotes without any explanation. Suddenly a violent cat goes wild and the place behind the gate gets chaotic. It doesn't go the way the CDC expected, so they kill off every single person, including even their agents. The passengers are isolated behind the gate, and a crowd of zombies come. Ed Ramirez knows the structure of the terminal and he leads the passengers into a container to hide. But some people cannot accept that their friend or family have turned into zombies, so they still cannot give up on them.
That's disgusting. I'll authorize you. CBDT. Chemical biological domestic terrorism.
And the passengers learn an unexpected information from a surviving agent. The agent says the ongoing incidents are created by a terrorist cell.
Hey, no! Put it down! What do you think?
This causes the survivors in the container lose hopes and don't do anything, just despair. But then Ed Ramirez thinks of a hidden passage to another terminal. The passengers turn into zombies one by one, or they get bitten off by zombies to death. So only 4 passengers and sole flight attendant Jenny is surviving. They keep looking for the blueprint and finally finds it.
Design.
Once we're here, all we gotta do...
But the zombies keep interfering them on their way. And Henry appears from somewhere, and he has suspiciously excellent shooting skills to be a doctor. Henry had disappeared and had been away for a long time. Now he comes again, and George finds medicines that seems to be antidotes in his briefcase.
Our population keeps growing and consuming, and all our planet is dying.
As soon as people saw it, Henry takes off a mask of a friendly neighbor and shows his true self. He belongs to a terrorist cell, and they planned biochemical terror to cull population. And they had made antidotes only for themselves.
Earth could use a good plague.
Exposed, Henry injects the antidotes for himself and holds George as his hostage, and runs away to the other terminal before others do.
Let me go! George?
Now Jenny has to survive on her own. Moreover, people around her turn into her enemies. So the situation got worse. But such extreme situation makes Jenny stronger. Jenny searches here and there for the exit. Jenny meets the nurse Shyla again. She found the secret passage, but the last survivor is also bitten by a zombie, so she hasn't got much time.
I'm gonna try to buy you some time.
So she sacrifices herself and buys Jenny some time until she loses her right mind. Thanks to the night vision goggles she gave, Jenny can find the trace of Henry, the blood he had shed. She goes forward following the trace. She discovered George but didn't see Henry, who had left the trace.
No, Henry! It didn't work!
Because the antidote that Henry counted on failed to heal him, and he already turned into a violent zombie. Terrified, George can't abandon Jenny and run away on his own because she has been protecting him so far.
Hey,
The extremely dangerous time passed, but soon their life is threatened again. The CDC is firing with a fire thrower on the terminal to burn up all the infected people. The terminal get engulfed in flames fast, so the two have no other choice but go into the tunnel, even if the tunnel might be blocked. They cannot stop nor come back again. George watches Jenny turning into a zombie.
Stop! Jenny! I can feel it! I don't have much time. I'm not going without you!
Jenny knew that she was turning abnormal, but she tried to keep her right mind not to scare George so that George can go forward.
Jenny, we made it!
Finally, George walks away of the terminal as the sole survivor, and the story ends. Thank you for watching Movie Goes Movie Recap. Next time, if you want to watch fun and various movie recaps, please subscribe and thumbs up.